No.
No.
It's live on Twitter.
It's it says scheduled up there. Usually that says live. That's what I know we can't say what we're wanting to really say sometimes.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
This is a good start. This is a
It
good
went
start
live.
to
It
a very
went
important
live.
show.
I'll go up.
Now we're
Good start.
live.
Oh, it is live.
Okay, now
Okay.
we're live.
It's been live for 31 seconds because the commenters are commenting that we're live.
Oh.
All right. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football show, brought to you by High Noon Hard Seltzer. It is delicious. It is fantastic. There's so many great packs out there. I'm going to let Casey tell you about it.
It is the best drink on the planet. As we all know, we've been talking about all the new packs. The Snowbird pack is out right now. I did get a text message from Katie that she does not agree with me as much about the new flavors, but she still likes them. Katie, I think I put plum way up there. I know you like it, but you didn't put it in your top 5, no?
No, I did really like it. I just
Yeah.
Nothing compares to the peach and the grape.
Well, fair.
It just those are the two OGs, semi OGs that you just can't beat them.
Yeah, no, we were talking about how good they are, which they are every time they put out a new flavor. I think maybe it's like the taste of the new flavor gets me excited. But anyways, the tequila, the Snowbird pack, the El Prez pack, which apparently on President's Day, which is next Monday, like the actual President's Day, Dave will be retweeting anybody who is has a Prez pack. So if you want to engage with him, get that. Also, we were told again, Brandon, this week, how much High Noon loves Unnecessary Roughness, which it gets a little bit nostalgic because obviously this is a big episode. We're going to have some big announcements. But to know that we were the first ever podcast that High Noon sponsored at Barstool is always a big deal. Dave told us again this week how much High Noon loves Unnecessary Roughness. So we love High Noon. They love us. Now, this is a big announcement show. So grab
High Noon certainly loves some of us. All right. So.
Yes, they do.
All right. We have 3 announcements. One was spoiled is not the word because it's his own announcement. He can make it whenever he wants to. One is coming from Jack McGuire, and it is up right now. Go, Jack.
Yeah, I guess some of you have seen my tweet. Some may have or may not have. I am leaving the show. I'm not leaving Barstool. I'm leaving on good terms with everybody. I appreciate everybody. I also have enjoyed this. So don't think I was ever held against my will. I felt as if it was time to do it for me personally. And I wish, as I said in my tweet, the show, all the success. And I was happy to hear that. I didn't think the show would end with me leaving, but I am happy to hear that is continuing without me. And I will always be a fan. And I'm always very appreciative of Brandon, Casey, and Katie. Brandon and Kate. Well, Casey, I started with in 2018. I was just a little intern. I was in college. And she took a chance on me, and I am always forever grateful for that. Brandon came the next year, and both of them stuck by me after I got kicked off the college football show, and they stayed around with me. And I said that in my tweet that was something that I'll always be incredibly grateful for. Mm-hmm. And we've done 5 seasons together. It was my 6th with Casey. And then Katie came along 2020, I think, or 2020. Yep. So, and Katie, since then, I mean, Katie and I were all already working on the same team, so I knew her. But she's been huge and helped out so many ways, especially this fall with the social. And, but I wanted to say here, thank you to all the fans. The show's grown every year. And I think it's going to continue to grow every year. And a lot of people said a lot of nice things. And I also want to reiterate, this was my decision. This was not anybody else's. And it was not like, you have to do this, or like, I felt like I was being like, I know in the Barstool world, there's that squeeze out thing that you hear from Rico a lot. That's not that at all. And I just would only ask one thing. Don't be like, we want Jack back. Like, that's not what this is. It's a personal decision that I made. And that's that. I don't want to take up too much time, but I know some people had
Yeah.
some questions, and hopefully that answers them.
All right. Well, Jack, I just realized this. Does this mean the YKB boys are breaking up?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like kind of
no.
like when the boy bands break up. I wouldn't say go solo,
Yeah.
because it's like some people were even like, "Oh, you're gonna start a competing pod." No, that's not what I'm doing at all.
Imagine.
So
Imagine that's
I
what you.
wouldn't say.
Imagine you just didn't tell us that, and like that's what you were doing.
No, that is. There will not be. It's not like I'm scheming something up with. Who would I even scheme it up with in New York City?
Rico Bosco. You want to talk?
Yeah, I
Like,
guess like Rico Bosco and I are gonna. It's gonna be the college football podcast. Where no, it's not. There's no that. It's not now. So I wanted to. I know some people were like, "Are you gonna do that?" No.
no. And I mean, I promised myself I wouldn't get like too sappy on this, but like Jack, I was thinking about this the other day after we all talked. And I remember the first time you ever walked up to my desk when I'd written about college football as a blog, and you were like, by the way, I'm still in college. Like this is, I mean, early 2018. It might have even been late 2017, early 2018, whatever. And
It
you were
may
like,
have been.
yeah, you were like, I know you know college football. I know college football too. If you want to write about it first, you let me know. And I was just like, I remember that now looking where you are now. And obviously, if you've listened to this podcast, you know, Jack is blowing up. Jack has like almost 1 million TikTok followers. Jack is a content monster in and of himself. So this decision makes complete sense. It makes me sad. I'll never forget in quarantine, you and Brandon were like my best friends every single day because we had to talk about it in 2020. So obviously, Jack is blowing up on TikTok. He's not trying to squeeze us out either. So
Now, I don't want to blow up his spot, but I can't lie. I mean, the timing is very convenient. It is 2024. It is an election season. Jack will be running the Biden campaign in the state of New York, in the city of New York. So
in the social media for them.
See the name Biden, think Jack. You see Jack, you think Biden. So Biden 2024, and maybe he comes back in 2025. I don't know. But once he gets 4 more years for Joe, that's what he said. He's coming back.
Yeah, no, it is a very strange time. I mean, didn't he text you on January the 6th that he was doing this?
He did. That's exactly when he announced it.
But he did. No, but Jack also, like, I've said this publicly. I've said this to you too as well. Like, you've been such a good friend to me throughout all of this. And like, we've been together. We did this podcast before Brandon came was with Johnny Manziel and Dave, like on like that. We did one episode with Johnny Manziel, and then the next episode would be me, you, and Dave. That's crazy.
No, yeah, and Gabe Papp was like the producer.
All right,
different world.
Casey, while we have people watching, tell them about another great friend of the show, and then we'll have announcement number 2.
Yeah, we've got multiple announcements. Factor, we know that they are a great friend of the program, just like High Noon. Also, hate to brag, Factor also loves this podcast. And Brandon, I think they love all of us. Factor is a big time sponsor of this podcast. I love it. I've mentioned 1 million times. I pay for it because that's how much I love it. Factor is incredibly good meals. They are never frozen. You just get them right out of the fridge, pop it in the microwave, 2 minutes, and you have a great, healthy, chef-crafted meal. Every single week you go on, you pick your meals, pick your menu. You've got it there. Head to factormeals.com/roughness50 and use the code roughness50 and you get 50% off. It's an incredibly easy way to eat healthy if you're trying to get back on track. They've got great meals across the board. I love Factor. Factor loves us. Again, factormeals.com/roughness50. Use code roughness50 to get 50% off. Use both. And if you're a Barstool fan, you know all about Factor by now. They also have protein shakes. Delicious. Go to Factor.
I'll answer this question. Joe Moorhead was the offensive coordinator at Oregon right after he was the Mississippi State head coach. That's why he sent me some Oregon gear when I first got to Barstool. So that's why I'm wearing the – also, Oregon gear pops. Like I don't know – how I feel about the program or whatever, but Oregon gear absolutely pops.
You've also made it very clear that you will wear 98% of gear that is sent to you.
It is matching my Texas Tech shorts I'm wearing. So
I love whenever people will like catch a glimpse of you in like the A&M basketball.
Why'd you wear A&M? Because
they'll like I'll get like screenshots on Twitter, even sometimes text messages from like friends from college, like, "Oh my God, you got Brandon wearing A&M gear." I'm like, listen, the basketball program sent him a box. He's gonna wear it. I can promise you that.
All right, announcement number 2, and for this one we turn to Miss Catherine's statistics?
I am also following the Jack Mack train. Not because of.
Whoa, what that was crazy.
It's already starting. It's already starting.
Close.
Fine. Oh, wait, I didn't even go. I didn't even think.
It's okay. Relax. Start over. Sorry.
The path. How about
There
that?
you go.
Doing the same thing. I'm also taking a step back from necessary roughness. I have an opportunity to go far into the business world here and help with everything in the Barstool realm. And it also kind of really sucks because this is my last little bit of college football. If you've been following Barstool, you knew I was on Pick'em. I had my 3-word quota. Here at this show, I have a 20-word quota. And then I was helping with the Barstool College Football Show Social. So it's putting a pin in college football world for now. I'm going to be watching from afar, but also not leaving Barstool. But not going to be in the trenches on Saturday night at 2 a.m. with the crew.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's a blow. It's a blow, too. I mean, it's a 1-2 punch, but it also, I mean, again, like I said with Jack, it makes sense. You know, Katie, when you came on board with us in 2020, you know, the fact that you were like Brandon's basically handler every single day up until he moved to Chicago, like, God bless you. But anybody who knows your path knows, like, you're behind the scenes, you're more on the business side. You've been so involved with so much of that. So this is also a move. It's not just like Katie's like, okay, I'm out and I'm going to go do other content. Like, this is big time moves for you too. And obviously you've kept Brandon and I alive. So I appreciate that.
I still remember the very first time, because also for context, I got brought into Barstool to do nothing with college football, nothing with podcasting. It was during COVID. We came back. We didn't know if this was, I think the Big Ten had just canceled or was about to cancel. We didn't know who was playing, who wasn't. I was so distinctly in a notebook. I wrote just the news, who was playing, who's opted out, like the Trevor Lawrence of the world. They all like came together, said, we're going to play. We don't care. I just handed them the piece of paper. I was like, hey, here's some notes. Brandon did not know my name at the time, learned it, hasn't forgotten it since. I also, it was COVID. No one knew my name. And they're like, wait.
Forgotten it a few times.
Oh, it's that girl, the Instagram intern. But they're like, oh, no, come in, make sure we hit everything. And then it went from in the corner to on the mic to on the camera to then producing, editing, and all the socials.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were proactive. You walked up to me and said, I want to help you do whatever you needed to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Kate, again, like, I'm sure people that are listening or watching this know this story, but in case you don't, the reason her name is Katie Stats is because she was so proactive at all the information that she just said. She was typing it all out in bullet points, which if you work at Barstool Sports and content, you've probably never seen something like that. And she was leaving them on Dave and Dan's desk. And I don't know, maybe Rico too, I'm not sure, but leaving it. And we were on our way to, because it was 2020. So we were not traveling for the college football show, but we were traveling to Texas every single week for the NFL show to Dion's ranch. Feels like a different world. And at some point early on, Dave looks at me and is like, who is leaving these on my desk? This is incredible. I'm like, that's Katie Pondicio. And I explain to him who she is. And then on the rundown, like 2 days later, he's like, Katie Stats. And that's how this whole like allure of Katie Stats became. Like, she was so behind the scenes proactive that she didn't even want credit for it. And I know Brandon and I have talked about this with you too, Katie. Like, that to me is the coolest part of your story at Barstool, because you didn't like do what so many people do and be like, hey, Dave Portnoy, like, look at me, and do something crazy. Like, you just did what you wanted to do. And that's how you got all these opportunities. And that's what's so cool about your next step, is that you've deserved it and you haven't gotten the credit for it most of the time.
You know, I feel like I've told them both that I appreciate them, and they're both awesome and everything, and yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be different because who said it? Katie? Those Saturday mornings at 2 a.m. when we're just staring at each other after watching 12 hours of football, that's not real work. I mean, there's people in coal mines right now, and there's people driving trucks, and there's people being cops. But you watch 12 hours of football and then come on and stare at somebody like Jack and stare at Katie and stare at Casey. You wonder where you are. You wonder. So we've done that together, and that was weird. And I haven't always been. I'm probably a chore, Katie. So thank you.
It's all out of love. You also it got me this point. It's gonna get me further. still doing it and happy to do so.
It really is kind of crazy to think like how many fights that were probably diffused because of Katie. Jack too, Jack too, but like there were a couple times I think that you and I.
Nobody save you now, Smith.
Well, now, like, should we go to the third announcement? Because I don't think I have an advocate like Katie in the third announcement.
So I guess we could just go ahead and say, so we're gonna. Do we have another ad?
We do have.
Yeah,
another
do
ad.
the other ad.
Do the other ad right now.
I'm going to do the other ad.
Not to announce where
and
I'm
I
going.
know people roll their eyes every time I say it, but boy, do I love all of our sponsors. No, Rocket Money, an app that I've been using for a long time. I actually did this the other day. Complete side note, I'm basic girl. I'm totally tuned in to the Idaho murders case. That's a whole nother thing. Jack, I know in the TikTok world, that's huge. A new show just came out on, I know, just follow me.
Ad.
I know, follow me. So it's on Paramount Plus. I am not a subscriber to Paramount Plus, but because I wanted to watch it, I went ahead and subscribed to it. And I know that Rocket Money is going to let me know next month, like, hey, by the way, you subscribe to this. Do you want to keep subscribing to it? Because I always forget when I do these things. It's so easy to subscribe to random things across the internet, on your TV. Rocket Money keeps it all together for you. So if I keep it, it'll let me know. If I don't want to keep it, it will cancel it for me. So Rocket Money can do all of that. And on top of that, can help you budget. It's a free app. It tells you exactly how much money you have in your bank accounts versus your credit card versus everything you could possibly want to know. Rocket Money does it. But most importantly, in this day and age, when it's so easy to just click a button and monthly subscriptions are just at your fingertips, it can cancel it for you. You don't have to go through all the mess. So go to rocketmoney.com/rough and it can get started today. It's a fantastic app. I will probably keep Paramount Plus, no free ads. I'm in love with this whole documentary right now. I don't know what that says about me, but if I decide to cancel it, Rocket Money will do it for me. We love Rocket Money here at Unnecessary Roughness.
All right. This is difficult. Okay.
What's this one's the difficult one?
Yeah. So I have my own personal announcement. I am a woman.
Brandon. Jack's like, okay, maybe I'm staying now. We're getting in the.
Let me speak my truth, Casey. I am a 63-year-old African-American woman, and I have been living a lie.
You're transracial.
I'm trans everything.
What's happening?
Okay, no. Okay. We're not going anywhere. Me and Casey will continue the podcast. Tremendous loss, Jack. Tremendous loss, Katie. I like them both. I enjoy them both. That being said, turns out High Noon won't let me do a show by myself. But
he's only semi-joking.
Anyway, me and Casey are continuing on, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, we're going to take it down for about a month. It is the off season. It's hard to talk about anything college football right now. I know there are shows that do it. They're not losing someone of the caliber of Jack right now or Katie. So we got to train a producer. We got to train a guy who's going to learn how to produce, learn how to cut clips, learn how to do these things. Probably about a month, maybe beginning of April. We have two guys that we are adding to Unnecessary Roughness. It's not going to help the calorie count on the show. It's not going to help the body fat percentage. It's not going to improve the overall look of the show. If you come to this show because Casey's hot, she's still going to be the only one you're coming to the show for. So,
well, people,
you know what? I'm sorry because they came for Katie too. My bad. Now she will be the only one that you come to the show for.
We're losing. I mean, you know how many Katie stats simps there are out there? Totally understandably. I mean, totally. But the people that come for Katie, well, that pause. The people that come to the show for Katie on Saturday nights, I'm sorry. Maybe we'll have her pop in every once in a while, but people that are listening to this are missing out on a great piece of breaking news.
I would say, I think when I heard the people that are coming, I really thought, okay, this is good. Like, this is a great. It's off now, Brennan. I think it's like there's some great people.
So
I'll be honest, it's kind of funny. Like that guy doesn't exist at Barstool without me, you know. So it's a funny. I'm almost a 99% kidding because he is a phenomenal social guy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And the fact, by the way,
and he's gonna be. I think you guys are gonna be, and I understand, and I'll miss you. You'll miss us, but I was happy when I heard it. You know, I think it's two great additions. Big too.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Unnecessary Roughness returns in probably early April, will be Unnecessary Roughness with Brandon Walker, Casey Smith, Liam Blutman, and my friend Big Ev, the Ohio State representative. It's going to be the big boys and Casey Smith. That's what's coming down the line. It's coming. We're going to have Big Ev. Listen, I think Jack will endorse what I'm about to say. If there's another person at Barstool Sports that's not on the show that is part of the YKB boys, that is a card-carrying member of the YKB boys, that's an absolute slobbering, stupid Homer fan just like I am, that bleeds college football, that will wake up at 9 a.m., watch the preview shows, and at 12:30 he's sweating out Hawaii versus San Jose State. It is Big F. Liam Blutman might be the most college football centric person I've ever met.
And the smartest. I've never seen somebody with the brain. And I talk to you every day. I've never seen somebody with the brain that he has.
I would say if there was a competition at Barstool to name the most coaches and players, I think he would win by, like, you could almost, and I don't want to insult anybody here, combine all our brains, all four of our brains, and he would still beat us significantly.
Well, and people that are on social media, like, he's the brains behind No Context College Football, which like when you look at his face and especially his hair, which, by the way, I had to talk to him the last time I was in Chicago about his hair routine because I've never seen shinier hair than that man has. It's beautiful. But like, you put him with No Context College Football, which is obviously a massive social account, like, it's like, of course this makes sense. Like, this is his brain matches that social account. Like, it's crazy.
All right, so there we go. That's what we got coming.
So I do want to say this too, because obviously I know, like, chats and comments and whatever, like, again, Jack kind of mentioned it too. This is a very amicable split between all four of us. Ev and Liam coming on was like, not that it wasn't Brandon's idea too, but Dave was the one.
No. I'll say it. It was Dave Portnoy's idea.
It was Dave's idea. So, and I do feel like that always helps too, because there's going to be people out there like, oh, like, just cancel the show. Like, Dave is very much on board with this show's value, with the money that it's making, and then also the future. So this is a very good thing for Unnecessary Roughness, a very good thing for Katie and for Jack. So it's very amicable. So no bickering and fighting and, oh, fuck them or we hate them or whatever. Like, this is all like good for the company, good for everybody individually. And Brandon and I aren't breaking up. So sorry.
And we've had some blowout fights. This was like on the fight scale. I don't even think it registered. It was like there's earthquakes. Like, it didn't, there wasn't even a, so. And
no,
also,
we didn't fight about this.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, just reiterating. And then one last thing I just want, and I know Katie also agrees with me saying this. Someone just said, damn, Jack Mack doesn't look like Beans anymore. I got a haircut. I just want to say thank you to all the fans. They were always great, even the ones that were mean. You know, it was fun. And thank you to you guys and to both. And I'll I have a lot of memories, and I'll never forget them. Hopefully,
well,
you never
Jack,
know.
Like they say, that they don't boo nobodies. But the biggest thing, and obviously, like, I could talk about this forever, but Katie and Jack have been massive for this podcast. Great friends, great people. To all the people that want this podcast shut down, tell Dave, because Dave loves it. It's not going to happen.
Do not shut the podcast. If people are like, I'm so sorry. I see the numbers. Like, they're never going to shut it down. Like, it'd be stupid to shut it down. Like, you guys are just wrong. Like, not you two are right for continuing. I mean, the people that say shut it down, like, you're wrong.
This show is bigger. This show is bigger than some shows on this on Barstool that people think are huge. So
yeah,
well,
yeah,
and we have,
like like they suck it off, you know? Like,
Correct. Yes.
Like this is one of those things where like behind the scenes at Barstool, like, you know, you see the internet and you see what people think. It's like, you know, when they're like, well, what does this person do to bring money? This show brings Barstool money. Dave Portnoy has told us that again this week. So, hey, we're the Wolf of Wall Street meme. We're not going anywhere, baby. We're staying. And we have the #1 college football personality in the Oregon gear right now. Beautiful hair. By the way, I do have to say, Liam has beautiful hair. We are going down in the hair book. No offense to Big Ev, but losing Jack and Katie's hair is tough.
Well, we got me.
We have me, you, and Liam.
Yeah, and we got Big F. Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, seriously. So thank you to everybody who's listened to, I mean, Jack, you and I, this is our second iteration of this college football podcast.
No,
now
we did 6 seasons together.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when 12-0 UConn meets 12-0 North Carolina in the college football playoff in 10 months, don't say a word. Don't say a fucking word. Not a fucking word.
Wait a minute. I do have to say, did Katie ever finish her bet or pay up on her bet of the Orange Bowl from a few years ago?
Shut up.
The Royal Rumble stream. She never came to the Royal. She never came to the Royal Rumble stream. There was a huge, historic snowstorm that kept her away from the first one, and she never offered to pay it back. She's not. You know, I don't want to say the word she's not a woman of her word. I don't want to say that she welched on a bet. I don't want to say she's a bad person. If you want to say that,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if it's the last family orientation of this family, I just had to bring it up because it was A&M versus North Carolina.
I will restore the bet when Brandon admits me to the YKB club for the Michigan.
No.
I mean, you're leaving. I don't know what you can't be in the YKB boys if you're not. I don't know what that was.
That was maybe it's like the Hall of Fame where you're inducted like many years after you're done playing, like the unnecessary.
You gotta have a 5-year window before we consider that.
Like the plaque, how you get like honorary degrees when you give a commencement speech for like the university. Like, give me the honorary degree. I'll take that.
All right. That's it. That's what we got. I'll give you 30 seconds of college football take. Today, the EA Sports released a trailer for college football 2025, NCAA football 2025, and didn't show us much. No. I'm sorry. They showed us nothing. They just said it's coming, guys. I'm gonna believe them, but I got my eye on you, EA Sports. I've got my eye on you because it is February. You got a game coming out probably in July. You got some screenshots. You got some action. You could show us something. There's a reason you're not. So I'm looking at you, EA Sports. I believe in you.
Everybody's talking, though.
This is the year.
They know what they're doing.
Is the year it comes back. This is the biggest year of my life since 2013. I've had many kids. This is what I want more. Okay? So, EA Sports, I believe in you, but you know you could have showed me a little bit more than you showed me. That's all.
But they got you talking. They know what they're doing. I mean, my timeline today was solely about this, like building dynasties again. I don't even understand all of it. And that's all I saw about building dynasties and who's better than who. And I need to learn it.
This show might become about that game. This show might just be solely centered on that game and not even worry about, I mean, hell, Ole Miss is going to be good this year. I don't even want to pay attention to college football.
You know what I did just put together? With Jack leaving. Now, again, maybe it doesn't even matter anymore because Michigan is no longer Michigan. But, I mean, my fight for Michigan versus Ohio State just got a lot harder, huh?
No, it's –
well,
okay, here's Brandon and Big Ev. It's going to be tough, Casey.
No. Here's the thing. Brandon Walker is a fighter. He's a scrapper. If there's a Buckeye fan here, there's no need for me to stand in the gap of Dave Portnoy Michigan taking over the world. So I'll just turn on Big F. I'll just be Mr. Anybody else. I'm not going to be Buckeye Brandon. And I never was Buckeye Brandon. I was simply standing up against tyranny and oppression of Dave Portnoy in Michigan. That's all I was doing.
Well, and to be fair, like it's the college football show. That's where that is meant to be. I was more Jack and I have been on the side of Michigan for the last few years, but like Jack has said many times, like it was the purest college football win. What did you say, Jack? That was your final
national championship ever, and
that was your final
job. The most unlikely rivalry ever. I destroyed the University of Washington because I said they almost lost to Stanford or maybe Cal. Oh, Cal instead of Stanford. And then I ended their program within like a few days.
All right.
Well, that's
Thank
it.
you, Jack. Thank you, Katie. Thank
Thanks,
you, Casey.
guys. We'll be back in a month or so.
A month, and Casey has said to bring the show back. She will be taking a bath in peach high noons. So
It's true.
we got that coming. That's Unnecessary Roughness, everybody.